Yeah. Love that motherfucking record, man.
That's it right there.
It's like my goddamn
theme song right
like
now.
my goddamn theme song right now, man. I've been bumping that since it came out. I'm just vibing with it heavy, man. You know the vibes. He holding it down right now, putting out some quality music, staying away from the sucker shit, continuing to show king behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Even in
with
the
his
midst
actions,
of clowns too, man.
And continuing to set an example for the young kings, and from that, fuck it, man. Let's get to it, man. You know. Now, you know what it is. It's episode 6, YKTV. I am your host, Self-Made Male, the highest and the flyest, along with my co-host, T. Lee the Don, 85 Rialto, and Curbside Kyle. Yeah. Let's get into this shit, man. It's Bobby, bitch. Hey. Bobby Shmurda is officially home from prison, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Bobby Shmurda. Clap it up for a real one who held it down. Took his time like a man, stood tall on all 10 toes, took extra time so his mans can come home with him at an earlier date. Commendable, respectable. Much success to Bobby Shmurda in the future, man. With that, I'll go into a news clip in here. Bobby Shmurda was released from Clinton Correctional Facility in upstate New York on Tuesday, February 23rd, after roughly 6 years behind bars. As the rap community celebrates his return, GQ had the opportunity to sit down with the hot nigga rapper to discuss his long-awaited first day of freedom. At one point in the conversation, the 26-year-old opened up about his time in lockup and the moment he realized he needed to change. After all, things weren't exactly going well in prison. During the first few years in, he racked up 11 violations for drug possession, fighting, and having a prison shiv, among other things. He says it was 2016. I was in the box. A 6-year-old girl wrote me. She said I was her favorite rapper. That just let me know that the kids are watching me and I have to be a role model. That's when he decided he really wanted to take rap seriously. Prior to prison, his GS9 friends actually had to bribe him to do the hot nigga video. He states he didn't really care too much for it until he went to jail and he seen how the fans were loyal. He continued, I can't name a week that I didn't see at least 10 pieces of fan mail throughout the whole bid.
That's crazy.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy that he, even his outlook, I have to remember that, like, when it just said he was 26 years old, like, this kid from 20 years old to right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he held his own. He took his responsibility for what he did, what he was involved in. Didn't point the finger at nobody. His friends was going to get... He took extra time. I have to stress that. He took extra time in jail so that his friends would get out sooner. If that's not loyalty, I don't know what is.
And not just the loyalty. He was at the height.
The height of his career. Like, new artist, popping, hottest song on the radio waves. And then, these types of things, man, just that life that we live sometimes tends to follow us once we've got away from it. It has a way of catching up with you. I'm going to continue a little more, just reading the rest of the article here that's posted in GQ. It said he didn't vow to become a rich black man, but promised to do it legally. I know what y'all like, he said. I know what y'all don't like. Y'all don't like to see young black rich niggas, so I'm going to get rich on y'all. I'm going to make it legit, though. They want to see young niggas back selling crack. You know what I mean? Going to jail and shit, and I'm going to make it legit now. While 6 years in prison is enough to break anyone's spirit, it didn't break his. Shmurda's perspective on life is admirable, all things considered. My spirit's always going to be up, he said. I used to sleep next to people who had 40 to life, people who've been in there for 30 years and haven't laughed, and I'd have them crying all day. When you got good energy, no matter where you at, you can bring a smile to someone's face. Shmurda was originally arrested in 2014, but copped a plea deal in September of 2016 after pleading guilty to conspiracy to possess weapons and possession of a weapon for his involvement in the GS9 gang. He was initially sentenced to 7 years, but was granted 2 years credit before the sentence was handed down. So again, man, big ups to Bobby Shmurda, man. I know this ain't the shout out portion of the show, but I want to shout him out. I wanted the intro on that. I wanted to come in on that, just so we are letting people, know what is respectable and what's always been respectable, which is character and being a stand-up guy. Stand by your word and looking out for those that look out for you. So again, man, welcome home, Bobby Shmurda. Much success in this career that you got coming forward, man, and you deserve everything you got coming while it's on the way, man.
And it's all coming back around full circle. He out. His hot nigga, I don't know if you've seen it, went 5 times platinum since he's been out. And the Bobby bitch, his second single, went 3 times since he's been out. So I think the generation is seeing now what you should do in them situations.
Yeah, that's love. That's love.
Out with his friends now. And back to life. You know
he was supposed to have came out sooner, but
he was a couple times.
Yeah, they pushed it back. They pushed it back a couple of times. Yeah,
it was like 3 different times he was supposed to get out.
Also, I heard some people complaining kind of about like all the attention he's getting, but they forgetting that part of it, that they kind of screwing him. How?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was supposed to have been let him out.
And then also the reception, excuse me, that he received from his peers in the rap industry, some of the biggest names in rap, took to their social media accounts to shout him out. I seen he was, Quavo flew with him the whole time in a private jet. Yeah. They linked up, exchanged money, but they've been rocking like since day one. They got on around the same time.
And they do a song already together?
I'm pretty sure. They working already. Rowdy working already, everything. So, man, shout out to Roddy Rebel as well, too. Again, man, big ups to Bobby Shmurda. And much success. Again, I want to reiterate that.
He came out, got 30 pounds of oxtails, eating good, come back to the fam, and now it's just time to lock in that studio, man, and come back with some more heat, man.
Well, I don't know the exact number. I don't know the exact number, but I did see his followers increased. I think it was from like 900,000 to like 2.3 million or something like that. And then also the account that he had. Somebody had hacked his real account, his original account, while he was in jail. So they built the account that he's now using. Fans built it, turned it over to him. Instagram verified it while he was still incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
So, that's why I mean, like, the fans were able to build an account and support him like that while he was still behind bars and be able to keep him out there and keep him relevant. And speaking of fans, Twitter announces a new paid subscription service called the Super Follow. The popular social media platform Twitter is planning on doubling its revenue by the year 2023. The company announced a new feature today called Super Follow that will give users the option of providing exclusive content to their followers for a price. This new feature will very closely copy subscription platforms like Patreon and OnlyFans. Super Follow will allow subscriptions that run for $4.99 per month, offering users a cancel anytime option. Some of the highlights of the feature include giving us a supporters badge, access to subscribers, exclusive newsletters, and exclusive media content of varying forms. Social media experts believe the new Super Follow feature will be a highly impactful tool for content creators like sex workers, independent journalists, writers, and other public figures who could use the feature as a paywall for their exclusive content. Thoughts on this? You can now pay for more specific content now on Twitter.
Yeah.
A super follow, so to speak.
It's like, now everybody's catching on. Now you can pay for everybody's platform, you know what I mean? But I just be like, the sex workers be making cheese, man. If it ain't OnlyFans, now they got Twitter too. Like, ain't no pandemic for them, you know what I mean? But that's dope, though,
and you know what? I ain't knocking nobody for nothing they do. Get your money however you get it.
Not at all.
We in trying times right now. We've all seen, you gotta do what you gotta do. So can't knock the hustle. That's always been, something that we come from. Can't knock the hustle. I would say to do just about anything that you got to do to get the money, besides stealing Lady Gaga's goddamn dogs and shooting the person walking the dogs. Y'all seen that shit?
Savage, man.
They shot one of the dogs. They shot the dog walker. They got away with crazy. 2 of the dogs.
I thought they broke in the house, shot the dog, and took the dogs. I didn't know they shot the dog.
They shot the dog walker to get to the dogs.
I seen the Spanish news kind of threw some shade on Lady Gaga, and they were like, she seemed more concerned about the dogs than she did of dude who was a walker. She didn't say nothing about him, but she was something about offering $500,000. So I'm like, was this an inside job or was it like, because that reward money? She said no questions asked. 500.
Well, let me see. Let me get into it here. Lady Gaga's dogs are stolen, and her dog walker is shot. $500,000 reward is being offered. Lady Gaga is currently out in Rome working on a new film, and unfortunately, she received news that 2 of her French bulldogs have been stolen after her dog walker was shot walking them. According to TMZ, law enforcement sources revealed that the dog walker had 3 of Gaga's French bulldogs out in Hollywood Wednesday night when he was approached by a gunman. The gunman shot the dog walker and was able to get away from Gaga's dog Koji and Gustav. Law enforcement sources continued to reveal to the site that despite conflicting reports, all 3 of her dogs were being walked at the time. And when the incident occurred, the gunman took 2 of the dogs, while the 3rd dog ran away and was later recovered. The dog walker is expected to make a full recovery. Sources close to Gaga reportedly told the site that she is upset about the situation and is offering a $500,000 reward for the return of her dogs with no questions asked. Then they provided the email address. It was provided to collect the reward. TMZ reports that law enforcement is not sure if Gaga's dogs in particular were the intended targets, seeing as how French bulldogs are pretty expensive. Yeah. A source told the site they aren't sure if the gunman realized that the dogs belonged to Lady Gaga at the moment. The gunman has still not been caught. However, one of the dogs has since been retrieved and is being treated for its injuries after being shot by the gunman.
You know, it's trying times, man. French bulldogs very expensive. You know, Cass is going. They probably didn't know it was her dog, but her offering that reward, no questions asked. What if the dudes that robbed and shot the dude just get a dog back? Like,
yeah, I mean, she said no questions asked, but I'm sure they're gonna be questions asked. I know that trick. I know that trick. It's like,
nah, you going to jail.
You know what that remind me of? It's like when you was little and you used to tell a motherfucker like, give it here, I ain't gonna hit you, and you know you gonna hit them. So as soon as they get it, you go, you said you wasn't gonna hit me. Like, I lied,
don't
motherfucker.
touch my shit.
You did this. Like, that's how she gonna do with the motherfucker that turned them dogs back in.
He's stupid enough to go take it back. He going to jail. But yeah, that's sad that you know, somebody was shot and the dog was shot. So you know, hopefully they okay, like you said.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, it's never that's always serious situations, man. You never want to see nobody getting hurt at all. Especially gun violence is one of the biggest problems we have in this country. And anytime guns are involved, you know, things can get out of hand unless they're being used properly by someone who's trained to use them and for protection. Speaking of which, Yellow Beezy had 5 guns in his car when police arrested him. An affidavit says an arrest warrant affidavit revealed that Yellow Beezy had 5 guns in his vehicle when Dallas police arrested him earlier this month. Police claimed the undercover cops were surveilling an area known for its high crime when they spotted the 29-year-old commit multiple traffic violations. When police pulled Yellow Beezy over and asked him to roll down the window, which they believed were too tinted, he told them he couldn't because the windows were bulletproofed. The officers checked his identification and confirmed the rapper as a documented gang member. After one officer spotted a gun on the footboard, he requested a drug-sniffing dog. Once the dog gave a positive alert, police found 5 guns in various areas of the vehicle. The guns reportedly found included a Beretta PMX containing 19 rounds of ammunition. The gun had been reported stolen in Frisco. A FN Herstal 5.7 that had 21 rounds of ammunition. A 6-hour P365 with 11 rounds of ammunition. A Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard that had 6 rounds of ammunition. A Springfield Armory AR-15 pistol with 54-round drums of ammunition. And the gun had a wrist brace that made it possible to fire the weapon with one hand. After admitting to owning the weapons, after Arsenal. I almost said something on here, but that is a very nice weapon,
right?
With the arm brace.
All of those is.
That's a very nice one. After admitting to owning the weapons, Yellow Beezy was taken to police headquarters and arrested. He was released shortly after being booked into the Dallas County Jail. In 2018, the rapper was shot at more than a dozen times while driving on the highway. He was hospitalized for more than a week after sustaining 3 bullet wounds during the shooting. Yellow Beezy, whose real name is Marquise DeAndre Conway, faces a misdemeanor charge of unlawful carrying of a weapon, and because he is a documented gang member, he cannot legally possess any handguns in his car.
So what do you think about that, man? Because, you know, nowadays, especially for all these rappers we seeing getting robbed, getting shot, and like you said, he been shot at, like, it's better to get caught with it than without it. But why so many? Like, is he got them hidden where everybody can get one? Like,
you know what?
So many guns.
Delonte West.
Almost, right? Like, why you need the whole arsenal, bro? You
I have like mixed reactions
was
about
just picking them up, transporting them.
Could been, but why would you be doing that?
You know I don't know that you the one that's supposed. That's what I always speak to. Like, when you're the bag, when you're the artist, when you're the athlete, when you're the high profile person, you're the last person to do anything illegal. I am the foundation for what we are building. The last thing we can afford is for the money to get got.
To get caught up, right?
You see what I'm saying? There's enough other people. Not to make it like, you know, people are expendable and things like that, but you have to be aware, and the people around you sometimes are aware. We know how this goes at certain points.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna keep saying this. being in that life, once you get out of it, I feel like we should look to stay out of it. Look to change our life. Don't look to be a street dude no more. Look to explore things, expand your palate, travel, do different things that where we raised that we didn't necessarily do coming up and thought we may never have that opportunity to do.
Is he from Dallas?
He is. He's from Oak Cliff. But to say that, what I will say also is, I feel you 100%. 100,000% with both hands. You hear me? After what he's been through,
right?
After the situation that I spoke to that happened with him, I can't.
If I got shot out like that,
I can't.
Almost killed me.
That's what I'm saying. As myself being somebody who has been shot 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now my thing, I've taken it the legal way. I've gone through the course of getting the CCW and the be able to carry arms and everything. Right. So beside the point, it's the point of, I've been shot 5 times. I don't never want to be shot again.
You think
so? To him being shot 3 times in that car, and that what must have went through his head. You hear it said the windows was bulletproof when even the police approached him. Yeah. So that's a thing
he's at war. That's
it's a thing that we get shell shocked from shit like that. The thing is, my mentality has always been never again since it happened.
Right.
I'd rather you catch me with something and something. Than without it. I'd rather you catch me with it than without it. You see what I'm saying?
But and then too, most rappers, man, and die in places where they from. So it should be like, look, I need to get up out of here. Like if I'm getting shot at that much, or I feel like I need to roll around with this arsenal, maybe I shouldn't be here like that. You know what I'm saying? I get it because you don't want to look soft either. Somebody running you out where you from, but at the same time, be smart.
Well, not even just somebody running you out of you from, but once you make it to a certain place in life, take advantage of the opportunities that are provided for yourself. Use that to relocate to a different place. Yeah. Being that, as you said, like Boosie has said, that most rappers die in their hometown.
They're from, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So look to move once you get a certain profile. Find another place, and you got to just make sure when you going into these new places, you going, like I said, without the tough guy act, without wanting to be a gangster and everything, and you won't run into to issues in these new locations at these new properties, such as DaBaby did. Now, DaBaby is allegedly accused of knocking out a rental property owner's tooth in a confrontation over an unauthorized music video. A new lawsuit has been brought against rapper DaBaby by the owner of a California rental property he was renting. The alleged incident went down last December at the vacation rental home lodged in the Hollywood Hills near the popular Runyon Canyon. In the lawsuit, the owner of the home is alleging that DaBaby assaulted him and stole his phone when he tried to shut down an unauthorized music video shoot. This is being reported by Variety. The owner, Gary Pagar, states in the suit that DaBaby rented the property on the condition that no more than 12 people would be on site, acknowledging COVID-19 restrictions. However, Pagar alleges that DaBaby had about 40 people in the home to shoot a music video, which would be in violation of the terms of the lease. When Pagar pulled up to DaBaby to try to shut the music video shoot down, he alleges that he was knocked to the ground by an unknown assailant. Pagar alleges DaBaby then got out of the car and chased him into the house, where he was warned not to call the police before DaBaby allegedly sucker punched him in the mouth, knocking out a tooth and leaving him bloody. Pagar, who is 66, also states that in addition to being assaulted, he was allegedly spat upon. He alleges the assailants also taunted him by tossing his phone back and forth. He issued a statement saying, Mr. Kirk appears to think he's a real tough guy. Mr. Kirk is wrong. Following the alleged violent incident, someone else called the police, prompting DaBaby and his guests to flee the scene, according to the lawsuit, taking Pagar's phone and valuable kitchenware as they left. The suit also alleges that DaBaby and his guests left behind thousands of dollars in damage. DaBaby reportedly only paid a portion of the rental bill. Pagar also sued DaBaby's manager. The suit alleges that DaBaby and his squad destroyed a security camera in order to hide the fact that they had brought more than 12 people to the house. Pagar also alleges in the suit that when he first pulled up to the house, he spotted DaBaby sitting in the car with Jake Paul, who happened to be a part of the music video. DaBaby has not been publicly addressed the suit, and it's unclear whether any criminal charges were filed in connection to this incident.
Damn, it's crazy, man. I'm a fan of DaBaby, like his old little blow up, but it's like he keep running into these issues where he beat up the promoter.
Listen,
fans.
There's
one
common denominator.
Top of the level, like you gotta learn. Like
there's a common denominator
on everybody.
There's a common denominator in all these situations.
You gonna go to jail, bro. Like and you at the top. everything he's dropping is hits. Like, why, keep people not gonna want to do business, or when the world open up, like, is all these places gonna want to have you perform there? If you got a reputation,
I just feel like that's
beating people up.
I feel like a lot of this is unnecessary, and I do, I think that it is, to the culture that we in to some degree. The tough guy image is what it's always been and what's supposed to be represented.
Even at the fan, when he hit the fan with the
smack the fan phone, pushed the hotel employee down in the chair, shot a 19-year-old who was trying to break up a fight that happened after DaBaby had punched his friend in the Walmart in North Carolina. If you haven't read court documentation in the records, yes, and he wasn't charged with anything but misdemeanor gun possession because the witness who initially was the witness decided not to testify. These are stories you have to actually read shit to figure out. We don't talk about that. They just say he killed somebody. Yeah, that guy, you, my boy, had it coming. That one I'm not gonna say he was wrong on. If a nigga called me out for a whole year on social media, and then I finally catch your ass, listen, you better been with everything you told me you was. He
asked for it too. My man didn't have no belt on. He over there pants down.
Then you out there you got your pants down. You ain't got no belt. You in here getting your ass whipped. He talking about they turned the camera and it was the security beat me up. I don't care who beat you up. Somebody beat you up, and you supposed to have been prepared. You supposed to have been ready. The camera caught him getting up off the ground, ass out, just looking like.
I can't fight no man with my pants down either, though.
What was this?
This is like
this was a couple years ago. I know the dude's name too. I'm just not gonna say it on the show because he don't get no free pub on this platform. Trying to be a rapper, you got to get pub off his music or whatever it is he's trying to do.
He pretty much was just a cat for years, just like down in DaBaby. Oh, he ain't this, ain't that.
They from the same. He from the same city as him.
He ran into him in the Gucci store. Dude was in there trying to find a belt.
No, he said this was the funniest shit I ever seen.
He had no belt.
This was the funniest shit I ever seen. He was holding the phone. This is all these new niggas, man. Like, this internet gangster shit is hilarious.
That's
like,
crazy.
If I got an issue with you, I'm not approaching you
ain't no phone.
like the goofy little rat just did Meek. With the phone and the lamp and the light out and all of that shit. Yeah. But motherfuckers get their cameras out first. Bruh pulled the selfie. Dude shopping behind him with his security. Yep. He pulled the phone out and he said, hey y'all, look at this nigga DaBaby. Yeah. The nigga wanna try to talk some shit. And got his ass beat.
Yeah, I was did do that.
Man, you did all that to get yourself put onto social media to try to build your rap career or get some clout. It was clout chasing, and you had to pay the price for it. Bro. You do, man, but that shit can end you. Just similar to these situations, like what we talking about with DaBaby, with what he's in. This shit all ends up in legal proceedings, man. And if you haven't been to court, man, that shit costs money, man. You don't want to spend money unnecessarily, and you don't want to end up in jail for saying or having done something that you shouldn't have done. And just speaking, Tory Lanez was denied the right to speak publicly about the Megan Thee Stallion case. Tory Lanez's request for permission to speak publicly about the Megan Thee Stallion assault case has been denied. According to Page 6, the Canadian rapper's attorney, Sean Hawley, argued at the Superior Court of California in Los Angeles on Thursday, February 25th, that the protective order barring Tory from talking about the case was unfair since it does not apply to Megan Thee Stallion. The judge overseeing the case, however, did not agree and ruled that he can't publicly address it. The judge's decision came 1 month after Tory filed a motion seeking to amend the terms of a protective order that is keeping him from publicly commenting on his ongoing case with the WAP rapper. In court, documents previously obtained by Page 6, Tory's legal team claimed that the judge's order, which was issued back in November, was significantly prejudicial to Tory and jeopardizes his right to a fair and judicial proceeding. Tory's lawyers also noted that Megan was not subject to the terms of the protective court order, citing how vocal she's been about the case on social media. In contrast to Mr. Peterson's silence, Ms. Pete authored and posted 6 tweets to her 5.6 million Twitter followers in quick succession, Lane's lawyer said in the motion in January, adding that the order has prohibited the Say It rapper from responding. In August, Megan named Tory as the person who shot her prior, following an alleged verbal disagreement inside a vehicle they were riding in. The body rapper broke her silence on Instagram Live, claiming that the Canadian rapper opened fire as she tried to exit the vehicle they were sharing. The quote pops up then, yes, this nigga Tory shot me, she said. You shot me, and you got your publicists and your people to talk to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Los Angeles County DA's office charged Tory, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, with 2 felony charges in October. Tory, who has denied the allegations against him, was ordered to stay away from Megan. A protective order was later issued prohibiting him from speaking about the case in November. Tory pleaded not guilty to 1 felony count of each assault of a each of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and pleaded not guilty to 1 felony count each of assault with semi-automatic firearms and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. He faces up to 22 years and 8 months in prison if convicted.
This is crazy. Like, Tory losing the pills, he losing his hair. The Raptors is losing,
losing his top.
Can't get a win right now. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
like,
this is, I see people in the comments on multiple videos like, oh, this is still going on. Yeah, it's a court case.
Not over.
We're in a pandemic, a quarantine.
It is unfair though. He can't talk about it, and I know I get that, like, because he want to put his side of the story out, so it does suck that he can't do that. But
this is a legal move. This is what you're supposed to do, even if you don't want to speak about it. You're supposed to give the illusion that you do want to speak about it. Not saying that he doesn't want to speak about it. Just in general, that's a move by a lawyer that you're supposed to
show
do.
that innocence. Like, I'm trying to prove my innocence.
Yeah, and I seen what's his name? I saw Vlad TV. He recently did an interview with China Mac. He talked about a couple of topics, but one of the topics came up was this, and he said from what he's read in the court documents that he's actually already looked at and been privy to, he says he would be very surprised if Tory Lanez doesn't do jail time.
How was he able to see it?
I keep telling y'all, Vlad the feds.
I'm saying.
I think the world has said that at this point. Vlad is the feds.
Like, how the hell did you get to see?
He's the feds. He said himself he has police friends who are in law enforcement and things.
He kept saying like, "Oh, I keep stuff out of interviews. I make sure people don't go to jail and don't put up stuff." But like, how do you got privilege to see that? But anyway, if that's being the case, he's probably gonna have to do some time. He's probably gonna lose a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
citizenship in America, being able to come over here and tour, and that career, he might have to kiss goodbye in North America at least.
Yeah, man, it's a lot that goes into it. Like I said, the case is still ongoing and everything, but if this should be the outcome, then the entire situation has been unfortunate the entire way around. From a black woman being shot to a celebrity black man who is successful and in his own right, talented, possibly being the perpetrator. You know what I'm saying? So it would be unfortunate if this would happen to him, because of course he would be he would be deported after serving his sentence back to Canada. But I mean, silver lining to that sense, I guess I can't think of how old he is now. I know he's in his 20s. We are seeing more and more rappers, talented rappers, last longer, further into their 40s, into their 50s, things like this, and evolve. That's what I'm saying. But that's why I said talented rapper. I do believe he has the talent. Regardless of the situation, he would just have to basically build himself back up from scratch.
I don't know if it's coming back in the public opinion. If he gets if he's guilty and he did that, I don't know if he can ever come back and have a career.
Well, not in America, probably not. But I mean, right now, even without him being convicted, he has support. Like I said, we're in a new generation. You are seeing people support people who are rats. You are seeing people support people who are accused or convicted.
People support R. Kelly
abusers. Oh, I know, and you know my stance on that too. We're not even gonna touch that because it's nowhere on here. That'll be the whole episode at that point.
When they pick at his shows, it might be the same.
As they should.
Eventually, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, like I said, with him being from Canada, I was speaking more so to Canada. That's why I said he may have the it's an opportunity basically to build himself up from scratch, from the ground up, like Mr. Potato Head.
That's a tough one.
Right. With that, we segue into Hasbro announces Mr. Potato Head will now be gender neutral. According to CNN, Hasbro announced that the change to one of the most famous toys in order to promote the inclusion within the brand and to allow consumers to determine the toy's gender themselves. Culture has evolved, Kimberly Boyd, an employee at Hasbro, said. Kids want to be able to represent their own experiences. The way the brand currently exists with the Mr. and Mrs. is limiting when it comes to both gender identity and family structure. Large toy companies like Hasbro and Mattel have been making strides toward being more inclusive over the last few years, with one of the biggest shifts being made in the Barbie brand. Barbie's appearance has changed to reflect diverse of girls, including those of different races and body types. Neil Saunders, the managing director of retail at Global Data, said the rebranding was not meant to be controversial. A potato doesn't have a gender, and they're not saying that you can't be male, female, or anything else. They're just allowing the child or consumer to determine that for themselves. The alternative would be a whole variety of different. The alternative would be to produce a whole variety of different products to center for different genders, but that would be unwieldy in terms of cost and securing space in stores. So this is the simplest solution. The new toy will be made of plant-based materials and will include 42 accessories along with 2 potato bodies.
This is crazy. Like, they've already had Mr. Potato and Mrs. Potato in the store, first of all. Like, it gets 2%. First of all,
what is going
who's
on?
buying Mr. Potato Heads and Mrs. Potato Heads? And you know what I'm saying? Like, who's even buying that?
We have a question from Candy, who's off camera.
Right.
You'll have to get into a microphone if you want, which should put you on camera. Or let's see if you can speak loudly enough. I like my little game show host voice. Right. Nigga, I'm trying to be more professional this episode.
Well, you know, collectors,
not like that. Yeah, not like that.
I'm just saying, I buy a lot of toys for my kid. I don't see like Mr. Potato Heads and Mrs. Potato Heads flying off the shack.
I'm aware of
older too.
I'm aware of the prominence of the type of toy that it is. You know, the history it has. Of course, we've all seen it. We've all played with it. We all had them in our childhoods. I'm sure they don't have them now. I haven't seen a kid play with a Mr.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Potato Head, and I don't know how long.
Right.
I've got 8 nieces and nephews. I haven't seen a potato head. Like,
right.
But even more so, the thing that I just find crazy about this is we're really having the conversation over the gender of a potato.
Of a toy.
Of an inanimate object.
It's kind of a creepy toy, though.
Why
do you need a big-ass potato?
Right. Like,
He's
taking his arms off.
How is he creepy? The only thing Mr. Potato Head was dedicated to his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. Right. He was loyal. He stayed with her all them years. He could dress. He had a nice bow tie. He had a nice mustache, a nice bowl of dirt. Nigga, Mr. Potato Head was Steve Harvey. Before Steve Harvey was Steve Harvey.
With the mustache.
Mr. Potato Head was Steve Harvey. He was reputable. We had a Mr. and a Mrs. I don't see the point in what they had to do that for.
I think it's going to come to a point where they're going to have a
third one.
They're going to have a whole...
He should just added a third one.
What's the third one, though? Like,
she, him, there, they.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Ain't that it?
But they
the pronoun, him, what is it? They, is it she?
Is he?
She, them, they, right? Is that it? Am I saying it right?
I think it's they, though, right? I don't know.
It is they, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember some stuff.
They're going to have a whole different store in a minute, like with toys that's like for everybody. It's like this. Remember when toys could be toys? Like you ain't got to be correct. Like, you know what I mean? Like play with it and you do what you want.
And you just have fun, man. Like I mean, I miss
use your creativity.
I was just gonna say I miss the stuff that wasn't even toys. I miss the stuff about being in my generation, being kids. The funny stuff was the interaction with other kids. The being outside and it's 12 of us, but we all got 12 bikes,
right?
And we mobbing. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like 20 of us in the apartment complex, and we playing to them. Or we playing ding dong ditch. We playing football. We playing basketball. We got skateboards. We got BMX bikes. Like it was always something to do. You know, for us when we found kids, that was just.
Come out and see the sunlight like they vampire. Like no, like. You know, I give my kids a box. Like, yeah, this is a fort.
Antisocial.
What we supposed to do with this? Like, I remember, you know, you could grab boxes and make forts and, you know, all that. You know, kids don't enjoy that. They don't
yes,
know
Miss
that
Candy.
Beauty, you know.
There was a comedian that was talking about that. Like he took the game.
Can you turn your microphone towards her direction for me?
He took a game system and like he took his game system from his kids or whatever and was like, go outside and play. And the kid was looking at him like, play what?
Play what?
Like,
Exactly.
Exactly.
I've had this conversation.
Right.
Kids don't understand that.
They don't get it.
Our parents used to tell us go outside and play, and it was the happiest words we ever heard. It was like, shit, I'm out until the lights go out.
Right.
Woo! Like, nigga, it was time.
Right. I would get in trouble.
I'm gonna come in the house musty, smelling like grass and sweat. I've been doing all kind of shit. I might have made mud pies today.
Right.
You never know, nigga.
Right.
I might have left the neighborhood without telling you and been 10 blocks away.
Did.
I did. I totally
definitely did.
I've always been a traveler.
I was going on that bike. I'm going
I'm
traveling
out
cities.
here.
You, know
stay your ass in this neighborhood.
Right.
You stay in this apartment complex.
Remember
Yes, mother.
being before the street lights come on.
That was it.
Like, I'm
I don't
always
do that no more. That's why I said
Yeah.
but I mean I think that goes a little bit too to the structuring of the parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to make sure that you are raising your kids the right way to where they know how to interact with other children.
Right.
They want to get outside, you know, and meet other people and make sure that they making friends, you know, in their school.
That help them with social situations. And, you know, while we on the subject of school and parents, you know, did you hear about the 3 students getting kicked out of the private school because their mom had the OnlyFans account?
I did.
They was making like $15,000 a month. On
Yeah, it was
OnlyFans.
I think it's a private.
Who found out though?
So
That's what I want to know because I was gonna say it was a private Catholic.
Parent.
It was a private
why was you
Catholic
doing on
school.
that?
Right,
Bam!
that's what I said. How'd you find out?
It was a private Catholic
Yeah.
school, and 3 parents brought it to the attention
him.
of the school. How did all 3 of y'all? Who was the one who brought it to the other 2 first?
Exactly.
Let's talk to that. Let's talk to that
How'd you
motherfucker.
find them? Like, how'd you find
How did
what's
you
name.
know,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah, Miss Rogers, you know, she got an OnlyFans, and
Man,
we don't want your children here no more. Like, they kicked them right out. Like, should your kids have to pay for what you do? I mean,
That's traumatizing.
that's kind of, you
It's a
know.
rumor
Yeah,
after
well,
Yeah.
because it goes by the money that they're putting into those schools.
Yeah, it's
So
a
they're
lot
like,
of,
what
it's
you're
expensive.
representing, I don't want to be a part of. So
yeah, that's why I said they were a private Catholic school, so there's religion involved and things like that. But yeah, man, so 3 students were kicked out of Sacramento's Sacred Heart Parish School after their mother's OnlyFans account came to light. According to KCRA3, the local Sacramento NBC affiliate, Crystal and Chris Jackson received word that their 3 sons were not allowed to attend the school parish anymore due to Crystal's online presence on the adult site. It started as marriage fund, said Crystal Jackson. I just laughed because we have Candace Jackson here. Anyway, I went through menopause early, and I was just wanting to have the connection with my husband again. You see, that's caught me off guard too. Wanting to have the connection with my husband again. You get this confidence.
Business out there.
No.
She ain't got an OnlyFans. I'm talking about the name.
I'm just saying she put her own shit out there. Like,
Yeah.
trying to defend her case and shit.
She said, that's the only reason I was looking.
It ain't me. It
Putting
ain't
her dirty laundry out there. Like,
Right.
damn.
He's like, yeah, we just, you get the confidence in yourself. She explained.
Pause. I don't want to know about you.
Right?
Pause.
How's she making $15,000 a month? Like, you went through menopause?
She made 15 grand a month after they found
sign
out.
up for that.
He said, you
before.
put. I want to know about your menopause.
Yeah. How you think they paying for the school?
They found out and she made 25.
Yeah,
All
probably.
right, let me finish this out, y'all. So look, she said you get this confidence in yourself. She explained it's that confidence that you gain that you're like, maybe I do feel sexy, or maybe I am sexy. The Jacksons claim that the other parents sent the picture to the school's principal, so the school parish requested the Jacksons find another school for their children to attend. Your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website is in direct conflict with what we hope to impart to our students and is directly opposed to the policies laid out in our parent-student handbook and email from the school read. We therefore require that you find another school for your children and have no further association with ours. The family is now in search of a new school and church community.
How do you explain to your kids why they got kicked out their school? What does that talk go like?
I don't think everything's for kids to know. We're moving. You know what I mean?
That's my friends. What did I do?
You know what? See, this is how I know my
Like,
mind.
you know?
My mind works differently. I have more of a problem with how this church, private organization, school chose to address it in the email. Because this, I come from corporate. Like, I know how you slight motherfuckers on email. You know what I'm saying? Right. When you ever get that shit and somebody send you something and it's like, per our last conversation. Yeah. What that means basically is, bitch, I said last time we talked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to read through the lines and that shit. It's subtle, right? Yeah, it's subtle disrespect, So for them to say, your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website, you know what I'm saying? Like, the terminology being used is them shitting on them on the low. Oh, yeah, and definitely. It's all, for y'all to be such religious people, what happened to not judging and, you know what I'm saying, and not throwing stones and hiding your hands, et cetera, et cetera.
Listen, you do porn, man.
The kids ain't seen it. The adults brought it to y'all. We all grown.
But once it's out there, your kids might get teased and stuff, too.
The kids didn't know. It came from parents. We all grown. If y'all seen it, that's one thing. You talk to me.
You know what?
You don't talk to figured it out. You don't talk to my kids.
Maybe the kids seen that's Billy Mama. Right?
Is that Chad's mother? Holy fucking smokes! Thomas!
They
what are you kids doing in there?
Miss Jackson's on OnlyFans, Thomas. Look! Chad's mother. She's doing this thing with her feet and baby oil. Oh my God.
That's what I'm telling you. Maybe they seen it. That might have been it right there, man. So...
Oh my God!
We need to know the whole story.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was the whole story. Somebody found the page. Three parents, reached out to the school principals and them, and they told them the kids had to go. Man, it's unfortunate, Again, like I said, every conversation ain't for kids to know. At least at certain times, certain things can be put off. I'm sure, but it's unfortunate, especially if these kids were involved in, things around the school, activities, extracurricular activities, sports, things like that. They could be put off the football teams, basketball teams, baseball teams, whatever. They're out of the school completely. So, that could do something to a person's confidence as well. So it's unfortunate.
If the parents could sue them
and it's by no fault of the children's. Right. I'm not holding the camera for mommy to bust it open.
Is that really in their guidelines? Oh yeah, no porn. You can't be doing.
Well, again, this is a private school. It's a religious school.
I know it's their discretion.
So just off of how the Bible is set up, I would I'd lean more towards them having those guidelines. It makes sense. It makes sense.
In there, I guess. I still sue.
We're gonna transition now into sports, man.
Let's get it.
The Nets on an 8-game win streak. 7 of these 8 wins without KD. Yeah, KD is listed as day-to-day with a mild left hamstring strain. Yeah. Do we think that's really a left hamstring strain, or you think that's his Achilles?
I think they're keeping it real. I just think he's resting. Because how good
he has been going pretty hard.
He's been playing phenomenal so far this year.
Yeah. But you see, he wasn't even supposed to be doing back-to-backs. And what happened when Kyrie was gone.
And I did remember I said early on, I felt like he took on just a heavier load than he should have. I do get it. They were trying to ingratiate him into the system, being his first year with them. But he's looking like an MVP candidate.
He makes them scary.
65,
he's turning that shit on again.
When KD come back, it's not going to get worse. KD can play with anybody. You know what I mean? They're balling. And they beat, I think, all the top teams. They're like 10-1 against all top playoff contender teams. So they looking like a real problem over there. James turned into the point guard, and it's on and popping.
James has been rolling too. He done brought them on, comeback games, everything. He's looking like the best player in the NBA right now. And that sounds funny to say, but he's really looking that good. James Harden.
Oh yeah.
Him and Kyrie's chemistry over this 8 games. It's like they've been really looking good.
He's trying to release a lot of frustration from Houston. It's kind of like finally getting his.
I think him playing with these type of levels of players, where he don't have to score like he was, is just opening his game up way more, because he can always turn it back on
at any time
and score. So him taking a sacrifice, he's always started in the All-Star game and everything. He's taking a sacrifice, stepping back. So
just even in that, it's a mental thing. It's a mentality standpoint. RIP to Kobe, Mamba mentality. It is one of those types of things which Kyrie is, one of those people who tends to try to exude that as best he can on the floor, aside from whatever he may do off the court, just in terms of him being a player. And to that, I just want to stay on the topic of speaking to Kobe and the Mamba mentality. How do you feel about the NBA changing its logo from Jerry West, the legendary Jerry West, one Los Angeles Laker, to the late great legendary Kobe Bryant as well. Is that something? Oh, yeah. What's your opinion on that?
That'd be a classic
I think
move.
that's much needed, and I think Jerry West even came out years ago and wanted them to change it.
He said
Jordan.
It recently too. He said he's cool with it.
Especially Kobe. I mean, arguably, but the greatest Laker of all time.
That would be huge.
Just with everything that happened, like I think it'll be big. You know what I mean? And I think like you said, Black Kings built this league, which is true. I think the league is still.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get into his. I'm gonna get into his statement, but the thing is, the logo.
I think he deserved that.
The thing for the logo is, would it be? I don't even want to say unfair, but that's the word that I lean more towards. Are we looking at that as like not a slight, but are we looking at that like if it becomes Kobe, it's unfair to Jordan and Jordan's accomplishments, or are we looking at it from a different aspect of? Everything that Kobe embodied, his greatness, what he brought to the league, his mentality, his makeup, his work ethic, his drive, his determination, the things that he wanted to give, it should be the standard for that of an NBA player. And because of that, that's what they were changing the logo to represent what they want their league to represent.
I think with his mentality and so many great players saying, that they got that mentality from him and what he means to this generation, I think I think Jordan won't even have a problem with it. I think he'll be up for it for sure, and that leaves his legacy going forever. When you see that logo, you think Kobe. So
well, I honestly, really I'd love to see it. As a Laker fan, as a Kobe Bryant fan, fanatic, I would honestly love to see it, and so would Kyrie. Kyrie Irving urges the NBA to change its logo to Kobe Bryant. He says Black Kings built the league. Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving took to Instagram on Wednesday, reigniting calls for the NBA to change its storied logo, which is currently a silhouette of Laker legend Jerry West, created in 1969 by Alan Siegel, in favor of honoring another legend from the purple and gold. Now there was also, because we could actually, I'll play this here, just so everybody can kind of hear this. I want to let him speak for itself.
Who is this?
Well, number one, I think as a native black man, as a native black king, I think it's part of my responsibility to continue to push our generation, our culture forward. I know that it probably was met with some people that love it. I love the idea, and some people that don't like it. But my thing is we're drafting guys even younger now, guys that are coming out of different places, and he was the standard for our generation, and he will continue on. And I want that to be something in history that is changed forever, that our generation was part of that change. And, if that means that I have to lead that forward and get the conversation going, then great. But, I think he deserves it. I think his family deserves it. I think we deserve it, as seeing greatness personified as Mamba. And anyone that's coming into the league should know that that's the example that was set. And I'm only saying that just speaking about Kobe. Well,
yeah, that's real.
Kobe, I don't want to discredit any of our other historical players that have done amazing things for the league. I'm not discrediting anyone when I say that Kobe should be the logo, because we have so many examples of guys that did things on and off the floor that were leaps and bounds for us to be where we are now. So I'm just saying present day, I think it was 224. It was only a year after the memorial, and it's just a refresher that this is the guy for us. He's the guy for me. He's my mentor, more than just an inspiration. I took a lot of knowledge and wisdom from that guy, and he's always around me, and Gigi's always around me, and I know that in the women's game we want to continue to push things forward, but in our game too, we want to set a standard and a precedent. Like, this is excellence. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, definitely, man. He continued, got to happen. I don't care what anyone says. Kyrie captioned his mock-up of the NBA logo featuring the late, great Kobe Bryant. Black Kings built the league. The mock-up was created by designer Tyson Beck around the time of the tragic accident that claimed the lives of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others. It sparked a petition that garnered support from 3.2 million signatories. More than just honoring his mentor and his friend, Irving suggested it also one which reflects the labor black players have put into making the NBA a more global brand.
Yeah, I don't think nobody will argue that, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I get with like keeping everything old fashioned and everything how it is, but I don't think nobody be mad at that if they changed it.
Yeah,
I'm an advocate for that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I heard Jerry West himself was like happy with it. He didn't, he loved the idea, and I thought about it. If you think about it, he was one of the reasons why we even saw Kobe come to the Lakers as wasn't he the GM? He was at the time they got him
president,
from the Hornets.
Yeah,
was he? Wasn't Jerry West the GM when Kobe
Jerry
came
West
to
was
the
the
Lakers?
president. I think Kupchak was the GM, right? But Jerry
president of basketball.
Jerry West is the one that wanted Kobe, though.
So
You're right.
I know that Jerry he put like Kobe and Shaq together. So
that's real.
So yeah, for him to give his blessing, I know. Like
what I take from it, it'd
be dope because he was a product of Jerry West.
Yeah.
What I take from it, what I hear in his voice is sincerity. I do tend to agree with him, not for any reason that would be in disrespect to Jerry West. Kobe Bryant just was one of the greatest players that we have ever seen lace up the sneakers and touch a basketball court in this game. He accomplished so many things, championship-wise and just stat-wise, skill-wise, able to play to a level that not many people are able to accomplish. And Kyrie being, as he said, a mentee of him, being a friend of him, someone like a younger brother to him, so to speak, he misses his friend, and we all miss Kobe Bryant as well. And I think that's not where this is coming from, but I think that plays into it a little bit. I think he means what he says when he says, that Kobe is the embodiment of what a basketball player should be coming into to a league that big on a stage that high.
Yeah, definitely having that mentality, which works in life.
That'd be a great gesture.
I think it would. I think it would too.
For his legacy, his memory, his family.
Yeah, I think it would too. It would mean bringing him in, of course, as the logo would mean. Letting go of Jerry West as the logo, but again, he's been the logo since '69. I think it would be a welcome change, and who knows, in the future, maybe it changes from Kobe to someone else after a certain amount of time. And just speaking of letting go of things, the Houston Rockets reportedly released Demarcus Cousins. According to reports, Demarcus Cousins has been released by the Houston Rockets after roughly 25 games with the ball club. The news broke on last Tuesday, last Tuesday, and now the speculation begins where Cousins will land for the remainder of the season. Cousins averaged 9.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 2.4 assists in 20 minutes during his short tenure with the Rockets. While the market for Boogie isn't the most robust, multiple insiders believe a return to the Los Angeles Lakers is likely. For those old enough to remember, Cousins tore his ACL during an offseason pickup game in 2019 that cost him the entire 2019-2020 campaign with the Lakers. Predictions: Where will Boogie play next? Let me hear it. Where? Tell me where you think he'll play next, and then tell me where you think he should play next. Where would he be the best fit
Probably
to play?
The same place as the Lakers. I really think he fit in.
That's where you think he will, or where he should play?
I think will and should.
Okay.
He does want to win the championship. Obviously, he was with Golden State, then he was with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think him coming in, the Lakers getting that three-headed monster with the big man again. He fit in perfect. He one of them stories too of all the people that got hurt, and the potential that he had, bro. Like,
he was due up soon for that big max contract, bro. And then blew the quad, and then ruptured the Achilles.
He was the best big man in the
worked
league.
Himself back, still is able. Even
before Jokic, he had that shit on, and Embiid, he had that shit on.
It was him.
Even with big men, the game for the traditional big men like having transitioned, he has transitioned so well into today's game, being able to stretch the floor, developing the 3-point shot.
Remember, he used to be crossing big man over.
The
whole
nasty.
I'm like, this dude's 300 pounds. Like, what?
Yeah, nasty. I think
he was nasty with the pump fake game.
Yeah, hop step, everything. He had every floaters or everything in his game.
I think he will end up with the Lakers. Where I'd like to see him go, just for myself personally, a little sleeper here. I'd like to see him go to Portland, play with Dame and CJ and Melo. They need a center. They need somebody.
Got 2 centers already though.
They centers ain't getting it done. I'm gonna just be honest. We all know this. They're not getting it done. Cantor is a great offensive rebounder. He is not a defensive presence. He's not a rim protector. He's not a shot blocker. He's not a 3-point shooter. The things that Demarcus Cousins can contribute to your franchise, to your team, to your ball club on the floor. Regardless of locker presence or anything people try to say out there, just from a ball playing perspective, I think he's somebody that they can use that would fit. And he's another name who they could pair with.
Jokic is always hurt. I think he's hurt right now actually, but when he on the court he balls. But yeah, he could be another body for them. I could see that working.
Yeah,
they balling too. Ain't they like 4th in the West right now or 5th?
You know what? I'm actually not even sure, but Dame was snubbed. Dame was snubbed again, I believe, from All-Star contention, right? Like it's amazing. It's amazing. Booker got voted in.
Oh,
they voted him in because AD's hurt. But it's amazing to me still the disrespect that Dame Lillard.
It's crazy, right?
It just receives, man. Like it's like what does it take in this league for you to acknowledge how great this dude is at that position? Like. It's just crazy to me, man. And
he's been the best point guard in the league the last last 3 years, and he's always getting.
I thought he made the All-Star team.
He did, but he should start. They got Luka starting.
He's. I mean, it's deserved, man. Like I said, he's been playing great, man. And he's been.
I think it's the rise of the Warriors. Has to do with it a little bit.
Possibly.
Curry, Splash Brothers. I mean,
well, Curry always
kind of like with Jordan.
All-star. Yeah,
Jordan came. He outshined a lot of people with his era because of
Yeah, possibly.
Just bad luck, I think.
But again,
Luka just got voted in. They having a bad.
But again, he's played so well. Just to stay on that,
yeah, he's phenomenal.
He's played so well, and he back to Cousins. Like he's played so well, and he could fit for a position they need because they do deal with a lot of injuries at that position. And just while we speaking on injuries, Tiger Woods' team says he is awake, responsive, and recovering following his car accident. News broke that Tiger Woods was involved in a single car accident that required him to have surgery. Last Wednesday, his team released a statement thanking everyone for their support as they gave an update on his condition. They shared that he underwent surgery on his lower right leg and ankle after being taken to UCLA Medical Center. Dr. Anish Mahajan spoke out about his injuries and said that Tiger suffered orthopedic injuries to his right lower extremity. His injuries continue to be described as comminuted open injuries and said that Tiger suffered and fractures affecting both the upper and lower portion of the tibia and fibula. They were stabilized by having a rod inserted into his tibia. He injured the bones in his foot and ankle, and they were stabilized with both screws and pins. As previously reported, the accident took place on Tuesday, 20 miles south of downtown Los Angeles on the border of Rolling Hills Estates and Rancho Palos Verdes communities. Tiger was alone in his vehicle at the time of the accident, and there was a great amount of damage done to the car that it was described that he had to be extricated from the car with the jaws of life. So, man, big ups to Tiger Woods for pulling through that and get well soon. A lot of injuries, man. It's unfortunate. We're not aware of what caused the accident. It was a single car accident, so it was just him involved in it. But yeah, man, very, very unfortunate, man.
It's very sad. I mean, hopefully he can have his career. He's one away from passing from tying Jack Nicholson. So.
I want to use this moment to segue to a follow up on this topic of a topic that we discussed. I believe it was in episode 4. According to reports, the Minnesota Timberwolves' Malik Beasley received a 12-game suspension from the league concerning his 2020 felony gun charge. The 24-year-old guard was arrested in September 2020 after pointing a firearm at a family parked outside of his home. After police arrived at the scene, they smelled marijuana and issued a search warrant for the property. Following the search, authorities discovered large quantities of marijuana and a stolen firearm. Beasley resolved the issue in court and was sentenced to 120 days in jail, 3 years of probation, and with no use of alcohol or drugs, mandatory completion of anger management program. Regarding the NBA's decision, Beasley said in a statement, I will take this time to reflect on my decisions. I apologize to all the great friends out there who have supported me during this difficult time, and I promise I will come back very soon as a better person and player. This was reported by CBS Sports. With that, we're going to get into the YKTV vibe of the week. And if I mess up my boy name one more time, I know, man.
Get it right, brother.
YKTV vibe of the week comes from Tobi. Tobi, I fuck with you, bro. I'm trying. You see how good I'm up here working and reading, trying to get all this shit out. I grew up with West Africans, bro, so I know this ain't West African, Tobi. I cannot read this shit, Tobi, and we getting way. Featuring Trae the Truth, goddammit. The Truth, that is the YKTV vibe of the week, man. Y'all check this shit out.
Nothing cheap, nightmares like I was me. That's the W I used it.
All right, we back. That was the YKTV vibe of the week. That was Tobi featuring Trae the Truth with The Truth. Yeah, that's a banger.
Trae was getting off.
Trae gets off on that one. That shit fit him so perfectly. But I fuck with Tobi, bro. I'm telling you, like, bro, is next up. I got to learn how to say the last name, my nigga. I didn't watch you say it like 6 times, and I'd be right there with you trying to like Tobi, but I don't get that part. Like I'm dead ass serious.
For real.
That shit, but that shit is dope though. Shout out to Tobi, shout out to Trae the Truth. We're gonna transition into new shows and movies, basically what to watch for in this segment. We'll start it off with Mike Tyson calls for a boycott of Hulu amid announcement of Iron Mike series. Mike Tyson took to social media on Thursday to call for a boycott of the streaming platform Hulu after it was announced that a new mini-series entitled Iron Mike would be airing. Hulu's announcement to do an unlawful miniseries of the Tyson story without compensation, although unfortunate, isn't surprising, he wrote in a post on Instagram. This announcement on the heels of social disparities in our country is a prime example of how Hulu's corporate greed led to this tone-deaf cultural misappropriation of the Tyson life story. To make this announcement during Black History Month only confirms Hulu's concern for dollars over respect for Black story rights. Hollywood these to be more sensitive to Black experiences, especially after all that has transpired in 2020. The real Mike Tyson authorized story is in development and will be announced in the coming days. For Hulu to announce stealing a Black athlete's story during Black History Month couldn't be more inappropriate and tone deaf. And that was a statement from Mike Tyson, man. Yeah, no, I definitely feel where he's coming from on that, especially because, just how dare you?
How do you take somebody's name, likeness, story, and just not pay them and just do it on your own? Like, it's ridiculous.
And not only that, but let's not act like we haven't always heard him speak about he's going to shoot his own with Jamie Foxx as the person who's going to play him.
Right,
like, the world knows this, so why come with something that could potentially water down what the product that he intends to put out at some point, you know? I agree with him. You as a streaming platform, you can back off of doing things about me, you know what I'm saying, and allow him to do it for himself. So I definitely agree with that. Marvel teased a new series, Loki, coming to Disney Plus this summer. Marvel Studios just announced a release date for one of its latest Disney Plus series called Loki. Loki follows the god of mischief as he steps out of his brother Thor's shadow in a new series that takes place after the events of the Avengers Endgame. According to the studio's release, actor Tom Hiddleston returns as the title character, joined by Owen Wilson, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Sophia DiMartino, Wunmi Mosaku, and Richard E. Grant. Loki will start streaming on Disney Plus on June 11th. I think I'm actually going to check that out. I don't have no other reason to watch Disney Plus, but I fuck with Loki, though, because I fuck with Thor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always like his personality, the character they made him be as the mischievous brother and everything. And yeah, I would check that out. I would like to see that.
After Endgame, just seeing where you went and all that. There's going to be a lot of loops in that show. It's going to be pretty dope.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah. 50 Cent and Kenya Barris to collaborate on a new Netflix series based on 50's book, The 50th Law. I seen on Instagram recently there was something in the comments about DaBaby wanting to play the role of the main character in that show. Oh, wow. Kenya Barris and 50 Cent are teaming up to bring 50's book to the 50th Law to Netflix. According to Yahoo Sports, 50 and Barris are developing a new series for the streaming giant. According to Deadline, it will be based on the rapper and media mogul's best-selling book, The 50th Law. The book is a semi-autobiographical story that details the life and career of 50 Cent. Robert Greene and 50 co-wrote the book, and it includes excerpts from Malcolm X, James Baldwin, Napoleon, Sun Tzu, Socrates, and Abraham Lincoln. The idea came about for the collaboration after Barris's colleague Hale Rothstein pitched it. Rothstein and Barris will work alongside one another as executive producers of the series, and it will be produced by Barris's, I can't see that, Kafabo Inc. Society production company. Fifth will also act as an executive producer under his G-Unit film and television production house. Barris is also cooking up an adult and television industry, an adult animated series with artist Kid Cudi. The series will be titled Intergalactic. Aside from this new Netflix project, 50 has solidified his spot in the film and television industry with successful shows including Power, ABC is for Life, and Family Affair. All of those are actually dope shows too. I just watched the most recent episode last Wednesday of For Life. And I just continue to be amazed with what he's been able to do with the writing and that, and how they had to stop shooting and then reshoot, and they added in current events with COVID and everything. It's dope.
I actually, those two are my favorite producers, and to see them come together is pretty dope. Kenya Barris, Blackish.
Blackish.
from back in the day too, different movies. So just to see them come together and work on something, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Also can't wait to see this docuseries based on Criminal Minds, which is coming to the CBS streaming service. CBS's long-running crime staple Criminal Minds is getting a docuseries reboot on the network streaming platform. According to Deadline, the true crime reboot titled The Real Criminal Minds is in its early development stages for Viacom CBS's streaming platform Paramount+. The platform is also planning the scripted level of Criminal Minds and the original cast members as part of the rollout. The docuseries will include a real former FBI profiler who will examine real cases and criminal behavior, illustrated by snippets from the fictional Criminal Minds show. A leading cast member of the original series is rumored to host the new show. The original scripted series that ran from 2005 to 2020 focused on a group of FBI criminal profilers who are members of the Behavioral Analysis Unit. The characters use behavioral analysis and profiling to crack various cases while dealing with their personal lives. Love Criminal Minds. Shamar Moore played in that for years and years and years. It's a dope show. Can't wait to see what they do with that. He may be the host. I got a feeling he may be the host.
That'd be a dope look.
Yeah, nothing's been put out. I know he hasn't been in the limelight as much lately. Since his mother passed, I know he took that very hard. Condolences as someone who also lost their mother. I do know that feeling. So hopefully he is in good spirits and he's doing well. And I'd love to see him be the person they tap to do that.
That'd be a good spot for him.
So hopefully that is what it is. Also, Tyler Perry is making a BET Plus drama series about a female strip club owner in Atlanta titled All the Queen's Men. Tyler Perry is making a strip club drama. The multi-talented screenwriter, actor, director, and producer is about to give us a new series that centers around an upscale strip club in Atlanta. The new show will be a collaborative effort between Perry and Viacom CBS. The show will follow the life and happenings of a savvy and charming female strip club owner in ATL. I began my career in this direct-to-consumer business, so I know it well, Perry said. I know how much my audience values and seeks our great content anchored in our culture and experiences. BET Plus is home to an extraordinary array of content, including my movies, series, dramas, sitcoms, and stage plays. I can't wait to create even more great content for the BET Plus viewers. Shout out to Tyler Perry for continuing to push the bounds and the limits of forward for black filmmakers and just being a collaborator and bringing these shows and these movies and employing people. And,
definitely.
That's what's up,
Biggest
man.
Studio in the country, man. Like, he really came a long way, and like he owned BET almost. You know what I mean? Every show he producing. So shout outs to him for real.
Yeah, I fuck with that. And then we actually got coming out today. It'll be dropping Biggie. I got a story to tell. The Netflix documentary airs today.
Definitely watch
the documentary features rare footage filmed by Christopher Wallace's best friend, Damian D. Rock Butler, and interviews with his closest friends and family, revealing the side of Biggie Smalls that the world never knew. And as I said, it drops today on Netflix. So check it out, man. I'm definitely looking forward for it. It isn't aired as of yet as us dropping this episode, but much love for Biggie as usual. Definitely. East Coast legend, hip hop legend, rap legend. So much love to Biggie. And then I did want to run back over the new episodes of Snowfall.
Oh, Snowfall been popping.
Nigga. Everybody, I know everybody's seen it because I sent the group text.
Seen it, Curse.
I sent the group text, so niggas better have checked it. Did everybody see it? Who didn't see it?
Oh.
You didn't see the shit?
What channel is it on?
Oh, this nigga, man.
FX.
Wah, wah, wah.
I watch a lot of shows.
What channel was it on?
What channel?
Hey, man, look for that shit, man.
Huh? We watch the shows.
It is on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, man, on FX. Let me know if you need my password, man. I'll look out for you, man.
It's one of the best shows on TV, though.
Man, so it was a two episode premiere for this new season, man. I watched them back to back. As usual, I couldn't wait for the shit, man. The plot twisting is now. Spoiler alert if you ain't seen it, but you had ample opportunity. Man, Scully is not dead. He missed. Like, what was up with the little nigga who panicked and ran out of the goddamn crate early and started shooting? Like, what the fuck, nigga? Franklin on the cane, nigga. Like, use your hands.
Panicking, man.
No, he freaked out. D-Ray was like, or I'm gonna talk about they real people.
Right.
My nigga Peaches was in there. Peaches was like, don't go yet, nigga. He was like, they right there. Not yet, nigga.
He tried to
He
tell
was
him.
like,
Just panicked.
Just ran out and started squeezing. Nigga, he was letting off. And then Franklin, that nigga was panicking. He reminded me of me after I got shot 5 times.
That's
nigga.
real life,
That nigga was that nigga shell shocked. Whoever is directing this shit must know niggas who been shot. Because the camera angles he was using when a nigga was still talking about doing negative shit, but he wasn't all the way like healed. And you could just see it. He was like, having to think it through, like, fuck, because the motherfuckers retaliate. I can't get down with the get down right now. Like, but no, I fucked with these. I can't wait to see what they do with this season, man. So far, so good, man. I'm in. Jerome had to blow a nigga noodles out. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to be speaker. He was trying to be speaker Rome. Why y'all won't just leave him alone? God damn.
Let him live, man, for real.
But I thought it was dope, man.
They definitely don't disappoint.
85, you're going to have to check it out, man. If you ain't seen it, you're going to have to check it out, man. Snowfall is one of the best shows we got, man. Coming to America premieres March 5th. It's been, 32 years since the first movie. Yeah. This is the sequel. We've only seen the trailer so far. A host of people in it, the cast in here, Instagram celebrities, actresses, actors, Wesley Snipes, Tiana Taylor, Rotimi. So many people in this movie. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to check it out. Hopefully it's true to the original movie and just as funny. I have no doubts about what Eddie Murphy can produce even at this stage of his career. So can't wait to check it out. Another thing I can't wait to check out is a film, the film called Dutch. It's actually starring Lance Gross, Jeremy Meeks, Macy Gray, O.T. Genesis, and Gunna. It'll be in theaters March 12th. It's directed by Preston Whitmore, who directed True to the Game and This Christmas. Dutch introduces a player who will use any means necessary to dominate the streets and beyond. For Bernard James Jr., a.k.a. Dutch, survival is the ultimate score of the power of the deadliest heist of all. What is it? There isn't an angle he can't work or a woman that he can't seduce. When he gains control of an African drug lord's stolen heroin business, Dutch quickly makes it the most feared drug empire on the East Coast. Naturally, there are plenty of enemies vowing to take him down, including a vengeful mafia heir, an ambitious DA, and a conscience-stricken former friend. With Dutch fighting for his life while on trial, he plays the game and scores a winning hand in the face of all that betrayed him and finds justice in his own way, which is the street way. Supporting cast include Marquise Moore from Snowfall, Miles Strader from The Quad, Robert Costanza from Modern Family, and Natasha Mark from Ballers. This will also be rapper Gunna's feature film debut. So that was a little bit of info on it. Sounds good, man. I can't wait to see it. March 12th, it'll be in theaters. Like I said, O.T. Genesis is in it, Macy Gray is in it, Jeremy Meeks, Lance Gross. It's a nice cast in here, man. We'll just go into some fillers right here. The Source Awards is set to return after 17 years.
I seen that.
What you think about it?
That's dope. I think we need more, hip hop platforms. Long as nobody's stabbing nobody with a butter knife or getting up there talking about you ain't got love for the West Coast. But other than that,
well, shit, if niggas ain't had love for the West Coast, let it be known.
Let it be known.
Let it be known. He tell you to let them know.
Long as they keeping it peaceful, you know what I mean. But that's dope though.
I like it. I think it's good, man. I think again, I'm all about ownership, about the importance of us having our own in our culture as a culture, continuing to produce jobs, bring money in. And so forth and so on back to the culture.
Is there any more hip hop award shows other than what?
The BET Awards.
That's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
So that is dope. Like,
I would like to see it. Hopefully, it can make a run and come back, in a professional manner, in a way that is conducive to the culture and upscale as if it were the Grammys or something. Let's start making our own stuff and holding it to that standard.
If Snoop, not Snoop, but Jay-Z and Diddy came together and made their own award show, and Dr. Dre and treated it like it was the Grammys, I always felt like that could blow up. You know what I mean? And now you ain't got to depend on people that don't even listen to your music or can't even dance, and they judging what music to dance to. You know what I'm saying? So I think that always would be dope. But
What's the worst lie you ever told to get out of going to work?
The worst? Damn, that's been a lot of those.
Give me the worst one. What was the worst lie you ever told so that you didn't have to go to work?
He's talking about the dude.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm gonna get to you too.
I just said some bad stuff. Car accidents, jury duty.
Give me the worst. What's the worst? I need your worst, your absolute worst. 'Cause I'm trying to see something.
I'm a dependable person. I'm trying to think.
You've lied to your employers when you had a job, brother. Just because you own a business now don't mean you ain't lied. Just the worst
is just my car not starting, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's the worst lie you've told the guy going to work?
I don't. You don't have to get too creative. When you lying to your job, you don't want to do too much where they can
They know you lying.
Nah, you just be like, hey, my car ain't starting.
That nigga's car was here yesterday, perfect as shit.
Yeah, man. So the engine in blue, bro.
Curbside, what about you? When you had a job, what was the worst lie you ever told to get out of going to work?
Kyle just didn't show up. He like, I'm good.
The car shit. Probably telling him my car ain't starting, or I twisted my ankle or some dumb shit like that.
Okay.
He coming there running, doing backflips.
Yeah, tell him I gotta go to the hospital.
85.
Yeah, then they be one of the notes and shit.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
85. What about you, bro?
Shit, fucking being sick, just making up some shit, back hurting.
I'm like,
and my shit really hurting right now though.
Yeah, like I'm out.
I couldn't even tell you my worst lie I told when I worked to get out of going to work because I worked a lot. I was a hard worker. I rarely ever called off, but I'm sure I gave them some bullshit. I just can't think of nothing. But it was bad. I'm gonna take accountability for whatever it was. Yeah, I'm sure I had some bad shit. But I ain't gonna go too out of what I've never done was fake my own kidnapping to get out of work.
That's too much.
What's been the craziest thing that you done to get out of work, goddammit? But that's what the Arizona teen did. He took it to the extreme. According to Arizona's ABC news station, the 19-year-old claimed he was kidnapped just to get out of work. A few weeks back on February 10th, Arizona police responded to a call about a male subject whose hands were bound behind his back with a belt and a bandana stuffed in his mouth. Wow. Once the cops got there, 19-year-old Brandon Soles told authorities that he was kidnapped in front of his home by two masked men who hit him in the head, which made him lose consciousness. Arizona authorities further investigated Soles' claims and found no evidence to support his statements. The teen has since then been arrested for filing a false police report where he admitted his story was completely made up so he could get out of going to work. Now, Soles has been fired from his previous job and has pled guilty to charges and has been fined $550.
That sound like the Juicy Smollett lie right there. Like
Juicy Smollett.
That don't even sound like that. Really, come on, bro. Who's doing this to you? You're broke. You ain't got no money. What are we kidnapping you for, man?
Yeah, what would have been the ransom? Like you want my pizza outfit? I'm on my way to work.
Like camera, it had like video footage. A neighbor had surveillance footage, and they saw him getting in his car like normally.
Pretending.
Like normally. And he said that he got hit, and then somebody put him in the car or whatever.
Doing this, man.
Oh, the neighbors leaked the footage.
They leaked it too?
You know who's doing this? Crazy people are doing this. Crazy people who sit in the house, and if you believe one Illinois governor or representative, they play video games all day, and they out here killing people. So now he wants to ban the sale of all violent video games. Illinois politician by the name of Marcus Evans Jr. wants to pass the bill in order to ban the sale of video games that feature violence after the state witnessed an increase in the amount of carjackings. The bill would prohibit the sale of some of the games that promote the activities that we're suffering from in our community, Evans said. Grand Theft Auto and other violent games are getting in the minds of our young people and perpetuating the normalcy of carjacking, Evans continued. Carjacking is not normal, and carjacking must stop. If the bill passes, we will modify the definition of serious physical harm to include psychological harm and child abuse, sexual abuse, animal abuse, domestic violence, violence against women, or motor vehicles, theft with a passenger inside the car. So he's saying people steal cars because people play video games where people steal cars.
So that makes sense. In his mind.
In his mind, that's what he
came up with.
Listen.
How about, changing people in the household and, having people, be parents, and they wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's violence and it's carjacking and everything. Movies, shows, like now you're going to ban everything.
Listen, I don't know what makes them do that.
They've been saying that
but
for
it
a while.
wasn't no goddamn GTA.
I love GTA.
I played Grand Theft Auto so long. Listen, little niggas watching. I played Grand Theft Auto so long, it used to come from a sky view and the nigga didn't have a face.
Right.
You used to just run across the street.
For real.
You got in the car and guess what? Wasn't all that cool shit. The car was a box, nigga.
Yep.
That was it. Cops chasing you, nigga. I could take it to one place. The mission was to get it to one place. Get the key in the goddamn garage. You niggas are spoiled.
Story. Yeah, for real.
You niggas are spoiled.
That's old school.
The nerve of niggas when I never heard of niggas. Woo!
I bet we want to play it right now, low key. Like, yeah, they spoiled, but it's like I ain't finna be playing as Franklin in now. You know what? Let's go out and do that for real.
He thinks if you do it in the game, you know, that you do it in real life. So I guess that he thinks that the Virginia man who was arrested for 2 separate DUIs within 9 hours was on GTA drinking in the bar just before he went out and got drunk in real life. According to reports, a Virginia man was arrested twice for DUIs within a 9-hour period. Travis Baker, 38, was first arrested for driving under the influence before midnight, roughly 50 miles outside of Washington, D.C. Baker was booked on charges of driving under the influence, possession of a controlled substance, and driving on a suspended license. He was freed on bond at 7:15 a.m. the following morning. A little over an hour after his release, cops responded to a crashed truck in the woods in a rural part of the country. When officers arrived, they found Baker in the driver's seat and judged him to be under the influence of a controlled substance. As Baker made his way through booking for a second time, officers began to recognize him as the man they just let out nearly 90 minutes earlier. The 38-year-old was charged with driving under the influence for a second offense, possession of a controlled substance, driving on a suspended license, and reckless driving. To avoid a potential third DUI charge, Baker is currently being held without bond.
Oh, wow, man. How do you get how do you even get out the first one where you still can go to
90 minutes, bro,
and start driving?
90 minutes.
They put you in a drunk tank.
It was an hour and a half.
Like,
how close did you live? Yeah, how close did you live that you got a car that quick?
Listen, man.
Y'all in the country, this nigga, you rode a horse across the grass or something? Like what the fuck happened?
But you know what's crazy? It's like last year the dude was trying to go home and he was supposed to be right by his house and they killed, the police shot him and killed him. Like, what was the difference in this situation? Like, we gonna let you go, and he went out right back and started driving. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, kid got himself fucked up in the woods. God damn it!
That's crazy. Gotta do better, man. Everybody gotta get the same treatment. You gonna put one drunk person in a drunk tank, put them all. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man.
Could have really got out there and hurt.
People get out there and get hurt, and they end up in bad situations, end up killing others, or killing themselves as well. And just on the topic of suicide, which is never a laughable, act. We do want to touch on the story of former USA gymnastics coach dead by suicide after sexual assault charges. Former USA gymnastics coach John Geddert committed suicide from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound last Thursday afternoon. Wow. This comes after he was charged with 20 counts of human trafficking and 2 counts of sexual assault, 1 count of racketeering, and 1 count of lying to a peace officer. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel issued a statement addressing Geddert's statement, stating, my office has been notified that the body of John Geddert was found late this afternoon after taking his own life. This is a tragic end to a tragic story for everyone involved. Geddert was the coach for the 2012 games in London, which featured superstar gymnasts Ali Reisman, Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, Kyla Ross, and Jordan Weber. Disgraced Dr. Larry Nassar was the doctor for the 2012 gymnastics team. He also treated gymnasts at the Michigan Gym Twisters, which was owned by Geddert and his wife until they sold it a few weeks ago. Prosecutors claim Geddert lied to authorities in 2016 when they were investigating Larry Nassar, as he claimed that he had never heard any complaints about the doctor. In 2018, Nassar was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison for sexually abusing underage girls. Again, suicide is never something that is laughed about or joked about, but what's even more than that is sexual assault of young children, of young women, of minors, by anyone, but let alone by someone who is in a position of power over these people and wields an authority as such that John Geddert did. Condolences to his family and his children if he has any, as it was an unfortunate situation all the way around.
Sad situation. He took the easy way out, though, honestly.
just transitioning off of that, Lionel Richie is dating a younger woman.
Hey,
he's 71, she's 30.
Still fine. They're still liking Lionel.
But see, that's a big age gap, but this is consensual.
Super big.
And she's very. I seen people was she's very educated. She's very accomplished.
Right.
She has her own money, things like that. I think a lot of people just saw her age and don't really know who she is. So she's been in the tech space. She's a giant in her field and what she does.
What would make you want a 70-year-old person though? Like
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
That's a big gap.
Yeah,
what are y'all talking about?
Well, what's been the biggest gap of someone that you've been with?
Probably like 12 years.
12 years?
Yeah, 12, 13 years in between.
85. What about you?
I think I could do 40
now,
years.
Was it? Well, yeah. Obviously, she was older. I'm like if it was 12 years younger than you, I'm calling.
Come on, brother.
Right?
Oh
calling the law red now. Right now, you nasty son of a bitch.
12 ahead, brother.
No, well, I mean, if she was 12 younger than you, she'd still be legal, brother. So you in the end zone. Look at you. No. I feel you. 85. What about you, bro? What's been the biggest age gap?
Like a fling, like a one night thing.
Just the biggest age gap. Somebody that you dealt with, that you had intercourse with, that you fucked, nigga.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried to hold it in. So, just someone that you have been with.
I was like a freshman.
Okay.
She was not even freshman. I think, I was a freshman. She was a senior, so.
That's it?
That's it. Okay, 4 years.
I'm going to go next because Curbside last night. He's a young nigga, so I want him. No, I'm leaving you last. Wait. I'm leaving him last. I want to hear his. For me, the gap is 18 years.
18?
Yeah. I was in my early 20s, though. It was a college professor. Okay. She was like 41 or 40, I think 40, 41. But yeah, she looked like she was 26, 27. She had a body. She had a body out of this world. Miss you, babe. You probably like. I don't want to say your age right now, because you know what? Stay where you at. You're doing good in life. You're doing good. Proud of you, girl. Proud of you, girl. You keep teaching these students and stuff.
The one that was 13 years older and was a teacher too. That's crazy.
See, I love teachers.
What's up, teachers, bro?
Taught me so much.
That's facts.
Curbside.
Wow.
Yep. All right. What about you, nigga?
20.
It'll be a 8-year gap.
Okay, that ain't too bad.
It's not bad.
That ain't too bad.
Y'all got me beat.
I thought Stella didn't pick you up and got a groove back or something, man.
Nah, 8 years.
They try to
8 years older.
Cougars try to scoop your young butt up. I already know, man.
I'm trying to find them. Where the Cougars at?
Go to the right bar. They'll scoop you.
They always out here, goddamn it. You got to go to the 35 and up clubs and just wait in the parking lot.
All right, but I think the better question: what's the oldest you would go to though? Like,
I don't know.
It would be a 40. Would you mess with a 7-year-old?
What?
70-year-old?
Oh, boy, these mics are clear it up. Speaking here,
70. We got the 30-year-old. She with the 70-year-old.
Some people age well, so
no. Well, no,
that's true, but
it just depends.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a fine.
Some people do age well. I've seen this one lady on like social media, right? She's like, I think like in her 50s.
I've seen the one that be doing the dances.
She's in good shape, very good shape. She does not look nowhere close to 60 years old.
Body on point. Halle Berry, how old is Halle Berry?
Yeah, that one there.
60.
No, you know what? Let's keep talking. I don't know. I don't want to think about this.
You think that long?
Well, because I like older women. I've always been involved with older women. I lost my virginity to an older woman. I was a freshman. I was 14 with a 21-year-old. I've always
dealt menopause older. And all that. I don't think we
at that age. But I don't date people younger than me, or I haven't dated people younger than me except for one time. And crazy, we all know how that situation turned out. God damn it.
Long as y'all got something to talk about and ain't
you dated 70-year-old?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Long as y'all got something to talk about. You just said long as y'all got something to talk about.
I'll date a 7-year-old when I'm 70. Yeah.
When I'm 70, I don't want a fucking 70-year-old.
I might, you might be married.
Bring me that young 51-year-old ass. I don't want no motherfucking.
Lionel
Richie. I want your old ass. Yeah, well, you see, I'm light skinned with green eyes too, nigga. I don't want
Lionel Richie with a young 30-year-old girl. She younger than his daughters though. Like, how do you explain that at the?
I don't mind your business, motherfucker. She ain't your friend. She ain't here for you.
Yeah, I seen her in the club last week.
Okay, I'm 71. My shit don't even get up all the time. It's a good day.
They got blue chew. But
don't say that because them niggas don't endorse us. But you could if you want to put your ad sponsorship right here. Could go after that. For real. Nah, but yeah, man, I'm going to transition off into new music, though, because we did have some shit drop that was fire. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak announced a new joint album titled Silk Sonic. The project features Boosie Collins as a special guest host. First single will be released later this week on March the 5th. There's a new Whoopty remix from CJ on the way featuring Rowdy Rebel and French Montana. Casey Veggies drafts a new mixtape called Customized Greatly 5. The project has 12 tracks, appearances from Wiz Khalifa and D Smoke, and many more. Quality Control's artist Duke Deuce dropped his debut album titled Duke Nukem. The album features 14 tracks, guest appearances from Mulatto, Offset, as well as Young Dolph. Also, shout out to Young Dolph and the whole PRE clique. We just bumped into Grove Hero recently. You know, if y'all know him, he's a comedian that signed with Dolph. Hilarious, man. So big ups to bro. Everybody was cool that we bumped into, chopped it up with, took pictures with, all that. Hope to have y'all on the pod in the future. So besides that, who else we got? Oh, Currency had the new mixtape, the Collection Agency. Yeah. I did get a chance to listen to that. 10 tracks. Bangers. I don't have a favorite shit, but it's, man, listen.
Fire.
Currency just, he don't be missing, bro. His lane is locked for him. He also had a feature from Larry June on there with production from Harry Fraud. You know, I fuck with Larry June. One of my homeboys, a friend of mine, Tyler. Shout out to Tyler D. Put me on Larry June a while back. So I bumped the 91 shit. Yeah, that's my shit right there. I still play that. Who else? Shorty and Murder Beats released a joint project titled Memory Lane with 12 tracks and guest appearances by Trippie Redd. Rest in peace, the late great Pop Smoke released AP off his upcoming movie Boogie. And Drake and Draco also dropped a collab called Talk to Me last week. I got to check that out. I actually liked it. That was dope. So let's see what ended up happening with that. I can't wait until this whole COVID thing is over with and touring start back up and people can start back getting out here on the road and going to shows and just basically waiting to see what's going on because right now, like I said, it's a pandemic. We still in a crazy space.
I know people got something.
And as usual, we just transition. When we talking craziness, we use that to transition right into politics. The Capitol Police Chief warns of extremists wanting to blow up the Capitol during President Biden's address to Congress. The U.S. Capitol Police Chief has warned that the intelligence has found that extremists could be planning an attack. Capitol Police plan to maintain the enhanced level of security around the Capitol for now and at least through the President Biden's first official address to Congress. According to NBC News, Acting Chief Yoganda Pittman said on Thursday, we know that members of the militia groups that were present on January 6th have stated their desire that they want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible with a direct nexus to the State of the Union, which we know that the date has not been identified. She told members of Congress that Pittman was specifically referring to Biden's upcoming first address, the joint session of Congress. So based on the information, we think that it's prudent that the Capitol Police maintain its enhanced and robust security posture until we address those vulnerabilities going forward, she added. Man, listen.
That's crazy.
This started January 6th with riots at the Capitol. Here we are, March the 1st, and goddamn, y'all are just still going at it. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all, this is a perfect example of you can tell privilege when a motherfucker ain't used to not getting their way, ain't used to being told no. We done had to deal with that shit for our existence. That shit rolls off our back. You tell these motherfuckers anything that they can't have or can't do, and these motherfuckers storm your most professional government buildings.
I mean, it's over with. Like,
not to them if they talking about blowing some shit up.
And they just keep calling them extremists. They terrorists. Like, they terrorist threats, man. Like,
and it ain't no, we got to keep an eye on that shit. Watch them and start shooting these motherfuckers shit. They over there talking about blowing shit up. And, not to be a hypocrite or be the pot calling the kettle black, if you Joe Biden team, though, because President Biden has ordered a U.S. airstrike on Iran-backed militia in Syria, so he dropping bombs himself, goddammit. Yeah. It's one of the first actions as Commander-in-Chief. President Joe Biden has ordered an airstrike on Iran-backed militias in Syria. On Thursday, President Biden's direction to U.S. military forces earlier this evening, that evening had conducted airstrikes against infrastructure utilized by Iranian-backed militant groups in eastern Syria. This was said by the Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby. The strikes were authorized in response to recent attacks against Americans and coalition personnel in Iraq and to ongoing threats to those personnel. The proportionate military response was conducted together with protected American and coalition personnel at the same time. They felt they acted in a deliberate manner that aims to de-escalate the overall situation in both Syria and Iraq.
So crazy how we just got our nose and everything. And it's like, they could tell us anything. We not over there.
Yeah.
But handle what's happening here. When people setting bombs at the Pentagon and threatening blowing up stuff, you know what I'm saying? And everything that's been going on here with police brutality. Let's focus here and get this right. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of brutality, we do want to transition into this next segment here. Before we even begin reading, we do want to say that we here at YKTV stand in solidarity with the Asian community, with the Black community, with brown communities, with minority communities as a whole. We also would like to state that with the next report, we are unaware of these things in our actual community, but after speaking to people, we are still making a report just to provide awareness, as there have been reports that the Asian community has been the victim of attacks from the Black community based off of things that we can't even comprehend. They're basically xenophobic attacks is what's being reported. California has allocated $1.4 million to track and stop the attacks against Asian Americans as of now. Lawmakers in California this week allocated $1.4 million in state funds to help Asian Americans report hate incidents after a string of recent violent attacks in the state. The rise in hate incidents against Asian Americans during the pandemic has been alarming, but we can't solve a problem without knowing how big it is, said Ambassador Member Phil Ting of San Francisco and chair of the state's budget committee. The funds will support the work of researchers at the Asian American Studies Center at the University of California, Los Angeles, as well as several initiatives, including the Stop AAPI Hate website, which began collecting reports of racism and discrimination against Asian Americans on March 19th of last year. Ting said he hopes the new state funding will lead to solutions that will make all communities safer. I 100% agree with that, and I also hope that funding does the exact same thing. As I said, there's been a rise on reports lately in the community pertaining to in the Asian community is what's being reported now by the media. We are not aware of these attacks or seeing these attacks in the communities that we live in, and these are people are our neighbors. So, if this is happening, please speak up, report it, let someone know, if you are just being randomly attacked. It's unfortunate. And if you are a Black person and you are doing this, please don't be out here doing no ignorant shit. We got enough shit against us as it is. We don't need to be attacking nobody. But again, this is just something we wanted to touch on just in case this was indeed something that was going on. And then before I pass over one, there was also... Okay, I also want to talk about there was a man that was arrested for targeting and attacking light-skinned women in NYC. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Listen, a homeless man, he was attacking light-skinned women, light-skinned Black women, Puerto Rican light-skinned women, just of Black descent, yes. A homeless man has been indicted on 52 counts for targeting and attacking light-skinned women at the Morgan Avenue subway station in East Williamsburg, Brooklyn, between November 17th and January 2nd. And another 2 at nearby locations. Kari Covington, 29, was charged with burglary as a hate crime, strangulation as a hate crime, and assault as a hate crime after attacking 5 women. When Covington was arrested in January, he told investigators that he attacked the women because they were light-skinned. He appeared before Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun on Wednesday, January 24th, where his bail was upheld at $150,000. Covington is facing life in prison if convicted.
Yeah, that dude just nuts, bro. That ain't, to all the women, that's why you got to keep something with you because there's a lot of nuts out there.
Crazy
the dude that was
people,
attacking
man.
women in the metro, the train?
I believe so.
I'm glad they caught him because
I'm glad too.
A lot of people were talking about that.
Yeah, man.
Is that the dude that he beat up the girl working in a smoke shop?
The girl?
She was working in a smoke shop. He went in there.
That may be. They said it was 2 more.
Beat her up.
They said it was 2 more at nearby locations, so that could be.
It was on video.
How did he get away with all this? Like all this stuff.
Well, he was homeless, so it was probably harder to locate him. You know what I'm saying? He's probably harder to identify him. Tell him how long he's been homeless. And just as a former substance abuse counselor, behavioral therapist, I would like to just put this out there. It could be mental illness. It could be drug abuse. There could be a lot of things that go into it. This brother was a black man himself. Right. So when I seen the picture of him, it bothered me because there's always the stigma that black women aren't protected. Right. And here we protect and respect black women. We always say that. So I want to make sure, I need that. We need that to change. You know what I'm saying? We need that attitude to change, and for that to change, shit like this can't happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you see things like this happening to other women, I know everybody don't be a hero. Everybody's not the same type, but if it's something that you can stop from happening to de-escalate a situation, start speaking up, man. It don't cost you nothing to do the right thing. So I'm going to say that. And speaking of doing the right thing, we're going to get ready to end our show off at the last segment here, which is our shout-outs portion here. I want to start off first with our first shout-out. Master P and James Lindsay launched Financial Home for Underbanked and Unbankable Individuals. Master P, the hip-hop mogul with few peers, is about to launch a new banking institution in an effort to help disenfranchised individuals and those suffering from a lack of access to capital. Master P's Boss Up Bank is by design an outlet that will target 63 million Americans that have been refused lending by traditional banking systems. We have created an avenue for the culture to learn more about banking and the importance of knowing your money. Master P reported this to all hip hop in an exclusive statement. Master P has a team of partners in the venture, including James Lindy, who's the founder of Rap Snacks, John Gossier, who's a tech investor and venture capitalist, and James Elam, who is an entrepreneur, techno-creative, and TV and film producer, as well as others. The New Orleans-bred businessman and one-time hip-hop artist said it's a huge swath of the original population deals exclusively with cash, and not just because they want to. Excuse me. We have created an avenue for the culture to learn more about banking and the importance of knowing your money, P finished. If you are interested in building and understanding your finances, we encourage all to go to our website and sign up. P said they are in a stark contrast to check cashing services, money orders, pawn shops, loans, payday lenders, and even prepaid cards. Boss Up Bank will help people build their credit as well. So shout out to Master P, again, definitely. Always doing something, always pushing the culture forward. Second shout out, I want to give a shout out to Jay-Z. Jay-Z invested in Perch Credit app aimed to help minorities boost credit scores by reporting recurring expenses. So right in line with what Master P is doing, with what Killer Mike has done, I'm happy to see this and that this is becoming a focal point because this is something that's important in the community and society and in our culture. We do need to become more aware of our credit. Jay-Z has invested in a new app called Perch. Perch is a credit building system to help minorities boost credit scores by reporting recurring expenses. Perch will join forces with credit unions to report all recurring payments like rent and subscriptions to Netflix, Hulu, and Spotify. So definitely keep an eye on that. That's definitely something that can be used. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is moving to Ghana to protect his grandchildren from racism. The Sir Duke Kroner at 70 told Oprah Winfrey in a recent interview that the decision came out of the growing racial injustices he believes is pervading American society. I want to see this nation smile again, and I want to see it before I leave to travel to move to Ghana. The Michigan native told Winfrey, because I'm going to do that. He continued, I don't want to see my children's have to say, oh, please like me, please respect me, please know that I'm important, please value me, Wonder shared. What kind of life would that be? The distant relocation has been Wonder's idea for at least 15 years, as he said in 1994 that he felt the West African country had more of a sense of community than the U.S., according to CNN. And I would totally agree with that. Yeah. As somebody born in this country but who was raised around West Africans from Sierra Leone, who speaks Creole fluently, who knows the culture, who loves the food, I fuck with that. That's something. I mean, real big ups to that for him. Even at this age, I don't care what age he is, to still decide to make that transition.
Take it from a blind man
move to Africa.
A blind man to see the injustice and what's going on in this country, and get his grandkids out here so they can see something better in community.
The irony in that,
know
right? And lastly, I want to just touch on this. The last shout out we got is actually who our YKTV Vibe of the Week was. Trae the Truth was featured on it for all the work that him and Relief Gang have done down in Texas. When the snowstorm swept through Texas, leaving millions without power, Trae the Truth and his Relief Gang initiative sprung into action by providing an array of goods and services to help aid his fellow struggling Texans. On Monday the 22nd, Trae hooked up 250 Houston families with free gas. The satisfaction and the energy they got from people is amazing, he said. The 40-year-old said of giving back to the community in droves. Let me see. In addition, he gave free tanks of gas from Sun and Co Gas. Trae put a smile on people's face during the time of need by also giving cases of water cases of water and food before they drove off. Plates of chicken wings, red beans, rice, cornbread were available. Since the historic snowstorm hit the South last week, Trae hasn't stopped grinding to help the people. He supplied meals, water, charcoal generators, plumbers, and more of those without power or the means to provide for themselves right now. He says it's bad out here, man. Getting hot meals out is one thing, and that's important, but we are looking into what's going to happen next week when people have to return to home that have been flooded and burst pipes and unlivable conditions. Trae said in an Instagram video, it's a nonstop fight for survival. Big ups to Trae the Truth. As of last count, I saw a posting from his account where they have helped over 22,000 families with food in Texas, with power, with gas. And that's why I saved this one for last, because I really wanted to touch on this from a place of just being genuine, because I know how genuine of a guy Trae is. This is not something that he just pops up and does once in a while. He has been an advocate for us for years. Yeah. He speaks anytime something happens. If you're not familiar with Trae the Truth's music, check him out. I know a lot of people may not know about him because of politics in the rap industry. He has never made it to the mainstream level. And again, that is because of politics in the industry. Definitely for it's well known, well documented. Great artist, great guy, great, a great philanthropist, just a great black man in times when he needs to be. And he's stepping up for people at every option he gets. He reps for Texas heavy.
I was just going to say,
big up to Trae the Truth, man.
In Texas. I mean, I remember when they had the hurricane a couple years ago, too.
Hit that motherfucking clap sound, nigga.
Him and JJ
Hit that motherfucking clap sound, nigga. Let's give it up for this nigga. He don't got nothing. Hey,
this guy's a great big fat. That's right. You big fat.
What I was gonna say though,
you can't ask niggas to do nothing. You want something done, you gotta do it yourself. When ask a nigga to hit a button, he hit the wrong button.
Hey, I don't be pressing the button.
It's closer to you. It's a button. Hit the button.
We gotta have a signal for that.
Push the goddamn button.
But no, a couple years ago, I remember when the hurricane hit and him and JJ Watt put their foundations together. They actually was out there in the water. You know what I mean, helping people evacuate and things like that. So. Yeah, big shout out to him, for holding it down for your own town and being an example out here for people.
Yeah, man, I definitely feel like Trae the Truth is to Houston or to Texas more so what Nip was to Cali and was to LA, just off of everything that he's done business wise.
They got music together too, actually.
Listen, it would only make sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like cut from the same cloth, man. So. Yeah, man. Big ups to Trae, man. And that's going to end our shout-outs right there. That's basically it. We can wrap that shit, baby.
The vibes. You know what it is.
You already know what it is, man. Episode 6, as I said, thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Self-Made Mel. Make sure you follow us on our social media sites, SELF_MADE_MEL. Follow T. Lee the Don. Follow Curbside Kyle, 85, Rialto.
Yeah.
God damn it, I forgot Candy shit. You right there, you can say it anytime.
Candy Jack 22.
Candy Jack 22. Christian Yee _ OTW _collection. Shout out to our last guest. We appreciative of everybody who checked that interview out, man. Appreciative of our guests for coming on, man. We're going to catch y'all next time. You know what it is, man. It's YKTV. You know the vibes.
The vibes.